Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the story that everybody's been looking at the past few hours. Donald Trump will not stop going up in the betting markets. Donald Trump now the favorite to win on Predict It, which has been very, very liberal. He's flipped that. He's now the favorite on that betting market. And then you can see Poly Market, the big whopper here. Donald Trump is plus 12. Now, I mean, I don't know if this will hold. I originally thought there probably would be a correction about a few days ago when Trump shot way up to have like a 6 or 7 point lead, but it's only ballooned another 4 points higher. Trump sitting plus 2.5 in the last 24 hours. Harris is down 2.5. Trump is up in all of and you can see, I mean, he's taking over when you look at this. Recently, we'll go the past. I mean, it's an all-time high for Trump, since Kamala entered the race. Obviously, you'd love to see this on November 3rd, the day before or the few days before the election. And I'm sure we're going to see more swings, but Trump just keeps going up according to the betting. And we got some more internal polling from Trump and his people, and he's winning every swing state. Some of the states are close, but you're talking about like a +5 in Georgia. You're talking about a +3 in Nevada, which has been one of the states that has been, at least in terms of the polls, more pro-Harris. You can see if we go state by state, Trump still sitting with a 56% chance to win Pennsylvania. Now Michigan and Wisconsin are viewed as toss-ups, with Trump even leading Michigan slightly. Georgia, Trump is sitting 64% chance. North Carolina, 61% chance. Arizona, 66% chance. Nevada is a pure toss-up with Harris slightly in front there. But other than that, this is pretty remarkable to see a 12-point lead at this point. It is just the betting, but still, I was not expecting Trump to continue to rise like he is. And you do have these updated polls from one of the Trump internal. You've got the Arizona Trump +3, which I think is pretty accurate. Georgia Trump +5 surprised me a little bit. Michigan Trump +1, it's understandable. Nevada Trump +3 surprised me a little bit. North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin all sitting Trump +1. So very, very close when it comes to those three states. But still, this is Trump leading in every state, and it is a Trump pollster. They grade it as an F. It really doesn't matter. What matters is, even Emerson coming out saying Trump leads most. So do they like Emerson? Do they like New York Times? It's pretty much all these pollsters. Even Nate Silver now, his model's adjusting and Trump is going back up in it. It seems like it's inevitable with Trump and with a victory at this point. Even 538 adjusting to make it basically a toss-up. And we haven't seen numbers like this from 538 ever during any of Trump's cycles. 2020 against Biden, he was a heavy underdog. 2016 against Hillary, he was a heavy underdog. He is blowing Kamala Harris out of the water. The report that Kamala Harris spending all this money, they are so nervous. They're spending like billions of dollars, and it's not helping at all. And now they're trying to get black men to go out and vote, and they're doing these different rallies in Michigan. They're doing initiatives because black men, it looks like, are going to go to Trump 35, 40%, which is just crazy. It is unheard of numbers right now for Trump, and it's reflecting in basically every single swing state. And I do have Trump winning every swing state. You could argue maybe Nevada, maybe Georgia would be the states where Harris is looking the best in terms of overall polling. But, if you look at the betting, it's really, the Rust Belt is very close. Trump is running away in Arizona. He's running away in Georgia. He's running away in North Carolina. He's starting to take a slight lead in Pennsylvania. And this is getting very, very scary for Harris. Now, it is just the betting, and it's going to adjust. And I thought, again, honestly, when we saw Trump go way up a few days ago, I was like, all right, it's going to adjust. It's going to come back down a little bit. It's going to be very close. That's just what we've kind of seen with his election. Everyone's saying it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Of course, that could be a code word for it's going to be a blowout Trump victory, because in 2016, they said it was going to be a blowout for Biden. He barely won. In 2016, they said it was going to be a blowout for Hillary. She lost. So that's 2 times they've said the Democrat is going to blow out Trump, and they weren't right. Now they're saying it's going to be really close. So now maybe this is Trump's blowout. Even these pollsters are saying Trump is going to win just based off the overall average on Real Clear Politics. Trump is up right now in Michigan. He's polling 7 points better in Pennsylvania than he did against 2020. If you look at 2016, he's polling 10, 11 points better in Pennsylvania. These numbers are outrageous, and you could say, well, they've adjusted, but do we really think they fully adjusted to make up? I think they've adjusted slightly, but I still think there's going to be that error there The idea that they were so off on Trump in 2020 and 2016 to where they underestimated him so significantly, but now they're going to be perfect, or they're going to overestimate him because they think there's an overcorrection for Trump, when in reality, it's more likely that they are underestimating him again slightly, and that Trump, I mean, this environment is just, look at New York, the way New York has swung. I know she's going to take it and everything like that, but it's just, it is so crazy. Every single state seemingly is swinging to the right, or at least most of the important ones, including liberal states as well, when you look at this overall stuff. So, I mean, this is the graph right now. This is what we're looking at. I mean, what we saw when Harris took over, Harris immediately, really pretty much immediately jumped into the lead. Trump flipped it for about a week. It was very close. Harris took a lead. I do remember that for a bit, for about 3 or 4 weeks in early September. And now Trump, this is the biggest lead he's had since Harris entered, really, because when Harris entered, obviously she was going to be down a little bit because nobody really knew what to expect. But once she found her footing, the betting markets liked her. And it's like, oh, well, this is the Republicans only. Then why did she go ahead by 10 points? Why would Harris? It's not like Harris is this superstar candidate. Why would Republicans, because that's their new cope, Republican degens are the only ones betting on Polymarket. Then how the hell is she up by 10 points here in mid-August when she hasn't done a damn thing? It's not like the polls were crazy positive for her. Throughout this entire cycle, she hasn't polled as well as Biden did in 2020. She hasn't polled as well as Hillary did in 2016. So the idea that it's Republican degens who are only betting on this, pushing Trump up, why would Harris be up by 10 or 11 points? If that was the case, Trump would be up by 10, 15 throughout this entire cycle. Even after Harris entered the race, it makes no sense. They're coping. And so this tells us that, I mean, this is just, look at the campaigns. They're trying to do things differently. They're agreeing to all these debates. They've got Walz going on Fox News. They're trying to say, we got to open Tim Walz up. We got to have him crying everywhere now and just bawling his eyes out because they're desperate. You go to their campaign website, they're like, we're losing. We need money. Now, yes, that is a tactic to get more money, but it is funny that you go to their website, it's an immediate, oh, we're losing, give us money. They've got like billions of dollars more than Trump. They're still losing, and they're still whining and crying and asking middle-class people for more money, even after the billions they've already gotten. So it is remarkable. And right now, I mean, listen, if Trump can get Arizona to like a solid lean and Georgia to a solid lean, and even Pennsylvania, the strides that they've made in Pennsylvania recently, you know, that's a state that was 50-50. Now Trump, he's building a lead there. Michigan is still very close. Wisconsin is a pure toss-up. Nevada is very close. North Carolina is not on here, believe it or not. You've got the popular vote winner as well. I wonder if this has moved at all. It's slightly moved for Trump in a positive direction. I guess Trump was around 23%. He's up to around 27% over the past month. So yes, Trump is kind of making a little ground on terms of the popular vote. There are a lot of people that want Trump to win the popular vote. I understand, because I did do a prediction on X, and I had Harris winning the popular vote by 1.1. I think that's a very realistic prediction. But there's a lot of people that are like, they want Trump. They need Trump to win that popular vote, and I agree. I think there's no reason for the popular vote is very. It's not what it seems. People are like, well, it's Americans. That's how it should be decided. No, when you import like. I'm not going to get into it, but it's like when there's all these immigrants that come into the country and they vote liberal 70% of the time, they're technically, vote. But it's just like people that have been in the country for 5 years, they count the same as people that have lived here their whole lives. And that's the popular vote. And that's how what a sham it is. They import voters. And that's how they're able to get this huge popular vote advantage in states like California. I'm just saying that's how it works. And now Walz is like, oh, we got to eliminate the electoral college. Listen, we can discuss that if you want. That would be hilarious to discuss something like that. But there's no need to right now because it's not going to happen. You're going to have to, it's not even worth getting into, but they would have to pass an amendment, or they're trying to do something else. It's not going to happen. But Walz is just, he's just a big dummy for saying that. He makes their campaign come out and say, oh, this is not an official campaign position. They have to say that to run cover for Walz. It's like they've said that 5 times at this point with Walz. He keeps messing it up. He keeps messing up, putting his foot in his mouth. But listen, when it comes to the popular vote, Trump does have a chance. It's going to be closer than the 2016 election when Trump lost by like 2 points in terms of the popular vote. 2020, he lost by 4.2. This is going to be about a point to 2, maybe, or maybe it's even closer to where Trump wins the popular vote because of states like New York and California moving to the right more. Trump having that rally in California, he's going to make up ground in California. He's going to make up ground everywhere. Is it going to be enough to win the popular vote? I don't know. But I know he's going to make up ground in a lot of these places. Virginia, Minnesota. You could be looking at Virginia, Minnesota, possibly. I'd like to see the odds there in those 2 states. Virginia, Yeah, they've still got Harris at around an 89% chance there and a 91% chance in Minnesota. That's understandable. What is Texas? 90%. Florida, 90%. Ohio, 92%. Yeah, those are understandable as well. What is New Mexico? 91, Colorado 97, Oregon 97. All right. I just wanted to take a look at some New Hampshire 80 86. Maine at large 88. But either way, guys, this is crazy. I mean, Trump is skyrocketing right now. And don't be surprised if there's a correction. It's not like the polls are saying this is a total blowout. Like, I know some people are saying this is something I saw on X. I think it was Charlie Kirk. He's like, oh, the polls are the exact same, right where they were when Biden dropped out. Well, that's just not true at all. I mean, Trump was destroying Biden to the point where Trump's average lead in Pennsylvania was like 4.5 points. Trump was winning Nevada by like 2.5 points. Trump was winning Michigan by like 2.5 points. It's not like that. It's not nearly as because remember, and that also that's a byproduct of the Democrats. Really, half the Democrats were against Biden, so obviously Trump was going to go up by a lot. If half of their own party is against Biden, the polls are not going to be too good for Biden because they wanted to force him out and they wanted bad polling data. So it's not like that, all right? They're saying, there's no way. I mean, Trump was he was up in the last 12 polls in Pennsylvania before Biden dropped out. It was like 4 or 5 points. It was not like 1 or 2. Like, we're seeing these polls, it's like Trump's up by 2, he's up by 1. I mean, this is very positive because if we're counting another polling error, it should be a relatively easy Trump victory. Even if there's not a polling error, it's going to be a Trump victory, but it's not like it was against Biden. Against Biden, it was a bludgeoning, and it was like New Jersey possibly going to Trump, New Mexico possibly going to Trump. We're not there. And we don't have to be there. We don't have to be there. Trump still is the favorite to get around 312 electoral votes. And again, guys, there's probably going to be a correction here. Trump's probably going to go back down to like 52, 53. That's what betting markets do. They ebb, they flow. I thought there was going to be a correction when Trump was at 52 or 53, but he's just gone up even more. So maybe I'm wrong. But this is still thought of as a relatively close election. I don't think we're necessarily seeing the polls to push Trump up to like 60. We would need to see like a Pennsylvania +4, +5. I mean, I guess we've seen a few of those polls from Quinnipiac and like in Michigan, but we'd have to see poll after poll after poll after poll after poll, and then you start getting Trump into the 60s like he was against Biden. But we're not seeing that right now in terms of the polling data to push Trump up to 60 to 65. But this is reflective of what's happening. I mean, Trump is the clear favorite in this election. According to the betting, when you factor everything in, he is the clear favorite 26 days away. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.